Next on the news, Mother Mary Alphonsa, the nun who started Rosary Hill Home, which offers a place for people with incurable cancers to live out their final days, is on her way to sainthood. She was a convert to Catholicism, and Pope Francis declared her venerable in March. We'll have more of her remarkable story. Pope Francis presided over the celebration of Corpus Christi at Saint John Lateran for the first time in 7 years. It is one of the few masses outside the Vatican that the Pope presides over.
They play classical music with ease. They've skipped grades in school and earned black belts in Taekwondo. But when it came to getting closer to God, that was the real challenge. And this brother-sister team didn't shy away. I'm Jessica Easthope. I'll have their story coming up.
Plus, Walkathon Day at Bay Ridge Catholic Academy was a big success. Students from kindergarten to 8th grade raised over $17,000. I'm Katie Vasquez. Currents News starts right now. She looked after the sick who suffered alone. At the turn of the century, Rose Hawthorne, later known as Mother Mary Alphonsa, cared for people with cancer living on the Lower East Side. But she didn't stop there. She founded a home that still continues her legacy to this day. And now she's on her way to sainthood.
It's an amazing thing because, especially to be at the bedside of a dying patient, is that at one moment the patient sees your face and the next moment they see the face of God.
For 123 years, Rosary Hill Home has offered a space for people with incurable cancers to live out their last days. 32 Dominican Sisters of Hawthorne, like Mother Marie Edward Deutsch, offer hands-on care to the sick.
I never did that, did you?
Care that guests believe is irreplaceable.
I was brought up with nuns, and one recently said to me, "I'm going to pray for you every single night." I said, "Well, thank you."
The prayers and the home was started by Rose Hawthorne, later known as Mother Mary Alphonsa, a convert to Catholicism who used to care for the sick on the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
She heard the story of a young seamstress who had gotten cancer and couldn't afford the care that she needed and was sent away and had no help and no care.
Now, Mother Mary Alphonsa is on her way to sainthood. Pope Francis declared her venerable in March 2024, the final step before beatification. What was the reaction when everyone learned that the foundress was declared venerable?
We all cheered in the hallways, so so it was really exciting. It's something, you know, it's not that you don't know that she lived this amazing life, but to have the Church herself and the Holy Father look at that and say, yeah, this is a life of heroic virtue. It's amazing.
From the beginning of her work, Rose Hawthorne never accepted payment for the care that she gave. That's a practice that the sisters continue to this day.
We have been very, very cautious with how we use the money so that it is an ongoing legacy.
The next step to becoming a saint would be to recognize miracles of Mother Mary Alphonsa. Until then, they will continue to ask for her intercession. Pope Francis presided over the celebration of Corpus Christi at Saint John Lateran for the first time since 2017. It is one of the few masses outside the Vatican the Pope presides over. The Pope was unable to attend the last 7 years for various reasons, including the coronavirus pandemic and his health. In his homily, the Holy Father expressed regret that today's world is torn apart by wars and conflicts. At the end of the Mass, there was the traditional procession through the streets of Rome to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, where the Pope gave a final blessing to the pilgrims. Pope Francis is writing a new papal document. It will be an exhortation on the heart of Jesus. This is what he told the leadership of the Spanish Bishops' Conference during their official visit after they were elected in March. Right now, there are no more details on the document, but everything points to the fact that it will be in line with the messages on mercy that Pope Francis has repeated throughout his pontificate. The U.S. ambassador to the Vatican is stepping down. Former Indiana Senator Joe Donnelly is leaving his post next month after 2 years in the role. In a social media post, the U.S. Embassy to the Vatican confirmed that Donnelly will leave the position on July 8th, but did not cite a reason for his departure. President Biden nominated Donnelly for the position in 2021, and he was confirmed as ambassador to the Holy See in 2022. There is reason why students at Bay Ridge Academy are cheering. Everyone from Bay Ridge Catholic Academy are feeling good today after their walkathon day was a huge success. Kindergarten to 8th graders walked to the school's home field for a day of music, food, and fun. But it wasn't just fun. The students' efforts raised over $17,000 as well. Here at Currents News, we do a lot of stories about new Catholics, adults who have lived without faith and decided to convert. But it's not every day you hear about new Catholics who made the choice as children. Well, Keo and Koe Ma did. The St. Mel's Catholic Academy students have never shied away from a challenge, even when the challenge was getting closer to Christ. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has their story from Flushing.
Plenty of siblings fight, but these two duel on the piano. Keo and Koe Ma express their personalities and talent with every note.
I usually take it as a hobby, but it also helps make me relax.
As students at St. Mel's Catholic Academy in Flushing, the school's piano lab is a second home and a place they've been allowed to shine.
I don't think they would get this individual attention in a public school. The St. Mel's really provide them with a steady and environment where they could grow.
Keo and Koe's parents, Leo and Vicky, beam with pride. Their kids are always tuned in, even in the classroom.
A weapon in the end. Koe?
This brother and sister have both skipped a grade.
Skipping third grade and heading to fourth was only a bit challenging at the beginning to make friends.
Once Keo skipped, Koe was like, oh, can I skip a grade?
In fifth grade, I was 8 years old for the first month, so everyone thought I skipped 2 grades instead.
Principal Amy Barron has only seen it been done one other time.
So we want to make sure that we can meet all of our students' needs, those that are struggling, but also those that are advanced.
Their dedication spills out of school and into the Taekwondo studio. They're quiet in class, but loud when it counts. But the biggest challenge of their young lives wasn't on the mat, a test paper or sheet of music, but in their hearts.
Yeah, one day they just came up to us and said, oh, can we be Catholic? Can we get baptized? I was like, I guess I said, sure.
Keo and Koe weren't born Catholic, but their time at St. Mel's made them want to be part of a faith they say was calling them.
I wanted to follow God, which is also the reason why I became an altar server when I got the chance.
I want to become closer to God because then I can go to heaven.
And so, like everything else they've put their minds to, they didn't just do it, they excelled. They're already putting their newfound faith into action.
They would always love to donate stuff, to share their love.
Keo and Koe are proof that even at a young age, success without purpose is empty.
They never shy away from a challenge. They always want to just be their best selves.
And now they say life without faith is just living, and their plan is to thrive. In Flushing, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
Salvador Dali's famous painting of Christ has arrived in Rome. The images of Jesus on the cross, face hidden, looking down. The Spanish artist's inspiration came from a relic of Saint John of the Cross during a 1948 visit to the monastery of the Incarnation. Carmelite nuns showed Dali a smaller drawing made by the mystic saint in 1572 after a vision he received from God. This is the first time the drawing and the painting will be on display together. And before we go, do you have a story idea or want to share a tip? Email us at newstips@desalesmedia.org or call our 24-hour number, 718-517-3122. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Katie Vasquez. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.